Yes. Everybody's media. Summer Walker's media. Cameron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. It's what we're dealing with.
Why are you saying like he's Stephen A? Why he not running around like Cameron?
Cameron to be that.
That's what people be mad at you about when you say that.
Which I think he should lean into. Be the old villain.
OD, that was hate.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think people be mad at you.
Oh, it's hate.
Cam is running around like he's Stephen A. Smith. No,
why is he support journalist? Because he has an opinion?
No, why is it easier for the athlete but not the artist?
It's not easier, but I don't like it because, like, you imagine, like, this is do well. So I could talk about that. I don't like that and not be a hater. Yeah. It's reality.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't like it because you don't think they're good at it?
I know I'm better at it.
Okay.
It's me. It's my life.
Okay.
But Elliott, what would make you better at it? Because in this day and age, it's just not about getting the information right. It's about who's more entertaining. So who are you to say I'm better at this than them when what
I'll prove it to you I'm better than you. Like I'm the best. I'm more informed.
Are you better at telling a story? Are you 100%. Better at getting accurate
They're not better. It's like it's cringeworthy. I watched it. It's not good.
Yo.
Popping. It ain't popping.
I don't agree.
What's the camera interview? Was like, yo, Cameron really asked the questions. Like, what are you talking about? No.
But what interview did Cam take away from?
To build these things to have the level of success that's going to satisfy me, but I can't be frustrated that it didn't come right away, and then point my finger at my peers and say, "You don't deserve this. You don't deserve this."
Well, I'm glad you actually mentioned.
Why did I pick the
Cam
almost? Equal.
They are equal, actually.
I picked the worst one.
You decided to use Cam.
I didn't decide. That's the problem. It just, it just kind of came
flowed
out.
But
it
you
just
said
came
it.
out. There was no preparation.
This was just on your heart, and you had to say, "Hey, Cam, Mase, I don't with what you're doing."
No,
you're Stephen A's like.
You said their show sucks. Like you said that. You said it's not good. You said it's not good.
You're saying what it is. You're saying there was no malice behind it, but again, your competitive nature came through.
It just blows my mind that I documented or I had the decisions above their career 20 years ago, and now in the space that I see is similar to my space, and maybe afforded other opportunities I may not be afforded because of this celebrity. But then to take it back somewhat, and again, I'm not going to formally apologize because I'm going to let Cam possibly kick my back in again or whatever he's going to do. We can talk about it after, but I do respect that Cam's origin story when he said this was that he invested his own money into it, right? He put a couple $100,000 in it. He had this vision. He wanted it to look like an ESPN level production. Yeah. Build this massive set. We're going to wear the suits. We're going to do the optics. That's that. Mase saw it. He joined that. He added some money to the thing. And then next thing you know, all these gambling companies offering the big bags. And the gambling companies come where the heat's at with celebrity or with big numbers.
But even
so that's why I feel like I may not be looked at that way. So then there's a little bit of, tension with that viewpoint. But I think you shouldn't mock what they're doing. And then one last thing too, I have respect for Treasure Wilson. Oh yeah. The young lady at Stab Baby. She's a journalist, a young journalist, came out of college. Yep. And we had a good rapport. And I feel like I don't want to be that OG disappointing these. I know sometimes when you be critical being Reg, where it's like, my intentions may have been good, but somebody you respect like me from your field lets you down. If it seems like he's just the older person who's not comfortable with somebody else doing things or somebody else's success, measuring about your success.
For sure.
So that was a wrong position to take.
That's a good point.
Well, I'm glad you learned that rather quickly.
Yeah, you didn't even have to
rappers or whatever, like they have a chance to then do these things just like the athletes. Tom Brady retires, he immediately is going to be offered a broadcasting job at a major situation. So that's no different than what Joe did or Nori did or what Gilly did or what Cam eventually did. Maybe because Cam did it later and Cam was talked about he wasn't going to do it back then and say, okay, that's different. But
and they're not like Cam and Mase, they're not happy either where they're just looking for a check. As you pointed out, they're in the suits and they're in the set. So it's like, that's why I respect their show. They're not just doing it for a quick buck, but they really had this dream and like they went for it.
Yeah, and Treasure said that how much Cam prepares for things and 95% prepares for things and it's taking it seriously and the work ethic it does take. That's what we see with Joe Budden's success was. I have the work ethic and you're putting the thing in. I can't hate that. Hating on that just looks silly and dumb. But again, I think that, I have my moments of frustration.
Seeing you with Cam. Like, I saw you interview Cam on Rap Radar.
Yeah, did a great interview.
And that was one of my favorite interviews. I remember when that dropped. Cam wasn't as vocal at that point.
That was a turning point.
We didn't really see Cam that much at that point when he interviewed.
I think we always never had the best rapport either, to be frank. You know, I think that people view me, he's had his differences obviously with Jay-Z. People view me as somebody cool with Jay-Z. You know, I think they had their moment when he came back on the B-Sides 2 show, and that was cool. But then he even said after that he didn't really like the interaction with Jay after that. So I think there's always kind of been not a great rapport with me and him individually. Dipset, Diplomats, I didn't believe at the time, and I was grossly wrong, that they was as nationally successful as they were building. Like I thought they were just New York successful, and with New York rappers, sometimes I would do split covers. I would say,
"Oh, yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back, another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as Elliott washed up Wilson puts his foot in his mouth once again. And I had a link in the description where you can watch the clips at the beginning from Roy and Mal podcast, where this kicked off New Year's Eve, went all over the timeline as he just voluntarily jumped out there with the next level of hate for Cameron and Mase show it is what it is and everything like that. And now when he made another appearance on the Need to Know podcast, where he took it all back and tried to walk it back down. But when I'm listening to it, I'm like, this nigga is really confused and lost. We got to give him that name, Elliott Washed Up Wilson. Also, we got to call that nigga Elliott Rico from Nebraska Wilson, because this nigga saying he don't like this and like that. Fam, Cameron came on your podcast before with Rap Radar, and you on here telling them that, oh man, he don't got a good rapport and everything. We didn't have a good rapport. Fam, he came on your show already. And that was even after you said, and you watch it full in depth, because they talked about a little bit more during the podcast and on this segment and stuff on both shows. It was way deeper, and you'll just watch it in full. But you said, bro, that you didn't put them on the front of the magazine cover, and you didn't believe in Dipset. So he knew all that. Cameron still came and sat down and did an interview with you on Rap Radar. He never talked down on you. He never hated on you. So what does all this come from if we keep it all the way 1,000? And then now you come out and say that you got a relationship with Stat Baby. She's in contact with you. So if you know she's a journalist, why are you going at Cam and Mase as journalists when they never claimed to be journalists? So your whole argument makes entirely no sense at all now, bro. And now it sounds like you're just talking in circles, because you say you understand. It's the work ethic. They put the work in. They made the sacrifices. They dedicated. You knew all of these things before you jumped out there and said that. So what's the real issue here, Elliott Washed Up Wilson? We need to know. Nigga, actually, we don't need to know. It don't even matter at this point, because you're not making any sense, bro. You did this with malice intent, because it wasn't like, let me call them out for the greater good of the culture. They're doing something that I feel is damaging to the people. They up here starting beef and drama, or they just disrespecting the culture or nothing. You critique their opportunities, them having popularity and getting looks and what they had going on. And this is the thing, bro. They never claimed to be journalists. They never claimed this. They already had been said, nigga, we coming on here doing what we want. Cameron been made it clear, nigga, I be on the phone arguing with the homies. We going back and forth. I look at my phone. We been talking about sports for hours. Nigga, I might as well get a show and everything. And it's like, well, hold on, bro. He was rocking with you, nigga. He did your show behind the scenes and went on Rap Radar with you, and now I saw this, and you knew Stat Baby, and you had her respect. It's like, hold on, bro. Why would you even diss they show at all if that's the case? If you knew all this was going on. Fam, we know this. It's the obvious. You got to put the work in now. What it seems like, as Elliott is promoting his new shows, he looking for somebody to come sign him, and he thinks that, hey, when they do their stuff, they in my way. You got to build that lane up of the journalist type interviews if that's what you want. It's a lane for other people to get into and create and build, because you already been in the industry. You done had the Drake interviews, the Jay-Z interviews, the other big artist interviews when you was on Rap Radar, and this is not the first person that Elliott Wilson has done this to. He just taking shots at everybody, trying to get his name, I guess, in the mix with this stuff. That ain't it at all. I got to keep it all the way 1,000 with y'all. Tell me what y'all think. We going to keep that one simple, short, and sweet, just like that. This nigga started off the new year looking real lame, down bad, and sad. Elliott Washed Up Wilson. We got more coming. Hopefully you can redeem yourself. I don't know if you will. I just got to call it like it is, man. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.